Hey everyone, it's Matt Fraser, the psychic medium, and I am live on YouTube. So come on and join me because I want to talk to you guys a little bit about pet heaven and what happens when our pets go to the other side. Because so many of you have no idea, ask me this question, and they're like, Matt, is my cat really there? Is my dog really there? And first, let me start by saying that as a psychic medium, I have seen so many pets in heaven. I mean, you name it, I've seen it. I've had rabbits come through, dogs come through, cats come through, guinea pigs come through. I mean, I've seen so many pets up there. And what's so amazing is that I see these pets because your pets are not alone in heaven. Your pets are actually there with the souls of your loved ones. And here's the reason why, okay? This is the reason why your pets are connected with you in the afterlife. There's something that I've come to know that really, I don't think any other medium talks about this, but there's something that I've learned, which is called soul reassignment. So what does that mean? Soul reassignment is when we become someone's mom, dad, or, parent, but not be by blood. So what does that mean? I see this a lot when it happens with adopted children, right? So let's say you were adopted into a family. You never knew your biological family, but with your adopted family, you saw your adopted mom as your mom. You saw your adopted dad as your dad, or maybe sometimes it's your stepfather. Maybe you considered your stepfather your dad more so than your biological, parent. Well, what happens when we go to heaven? Does that mean that all of a sudden your stepdad goes away and isn't your dad anymore because he wasn't by blood? Absolutely not. It's called soul reassignment. Okay, and what does soul reassignment means? It means that sometimes we're born into different families here in this world. Maybe our family couldn't take care of us. They put us up for adoption. So we ended up into another family that we now know as our family. And our mom became our mom. Our adopted dad became our dad. And guess what? Our half brothers and sisters, or maybe it wasn't even by blood at all, maybe our adopted brothers and sisters become our through and through brother and sister. It might not be by blood, but it's a spiritual connection where we recognize them as our mom, our dad, and they take over as that role. Well, I want to let you guys know this. This is so important because the same thing happens with your pets. Soul reassignment happens. It's the reason why we're so connected with our pets. When you adopt a dog or a cat or take care of another animal within your life, like a rabbit or whatever it is that's your pet, and that soul reassignment happens where that pet sees you as their mom or as their dad, and that pet sees you as their family, you are family in heaven through and through. Your pets don't go back to their biological family on the other side, although they do see them. They stay connected to you. And what's so amazing is that your pets actually watch over you within life. But I wanted to make this video because there's so much that the psychics and mediums out there don't talk about when it comes to pet heaven. I don't know if it's just because of the fact that most mediums don't communicate with pets. And even me as a medium, I'm going to tell you that's very rare that, I actually hear messages from pets. It has happened time to time. It's just not a way that I'm gifted. I normally hear from, the departed first. But there are pet mediums and pet psychics out there and people who just communicate with pets and pets only. But what I can tell you is that I have had my fair share of readings where pets have come through, and I've come to know a lot about pet heaven and about what happens when pets go to the other side. And here's one of the things that I find so amazing is that when a pet leaves this world, the same thing happens as almost like when we leave this world. So when a pet leaves this world behind, right, their soul takes off just like ours. Their soul is free from illness, free from pain. They transition into the other side where they're greeted by people that they knew here in this world and animals that they've come to know here in this world. For example, let's say that you had 3 dogs and 2 of your dogs passed, and there's one still that was here living for, let's say, 5 years after his brothers had passed. He might transition on into heaven, and during that time, see those 2 other dogs that are there and with them. And don't forget that litter mates that might not have been a biological brother or a biological sister to that animal will still be there in spirit. But what I find the most interesting about pet heaven is that your pets actually go through a life review. And this is something that I find so amazing. Okay. And here's the reason why. If you don't know what a life review is what we go through as humans when we go to the other side. Our life is worth something here in this world. We're put here on this earth for a reason. We're born here with certain talents, skills, and abilities. And then when we go to the other side, we learn so much about ourselves. We learn about what our accomplishments were here in this world. We learn about the things that we did right, the things that we did wrong. We learn about, why we were put here on this earth, and we see our whole life right flash before our eyes in just a few instances where we can see everything from the moment we were born to the moment that we left this world. And the same thing goes for pets. But the reason why I'm telling you this is that the pet life review is so important. And it's important for all of you who have ever had a pet. And here's the reason why. When your pets go through their life review, they're able to look back on their life that they lived here in this world, and your pets are able to see everything. They're able to see from the moment that they were born here in this world to the moment they became adopted by you. And what's so amazing is that that life review is different depending on the pet that, is going to the other side. For example, I've noticed that some of the most amazing life reviews happen when pets are adopted here in this world. For example, me, if you guys know a little bit about me, I sat on the board of directors for an animal shelter in Massachusetts. And I've noticed that, when pets are adopted into families, they came from rough pathways here in this world. Maybe they were, maybe they were first born, and then, maybe their mother had passed, or maybe they were born and their family that adopted them originally was abusive. Maybe they neglected them. Maybe they caused harm to them. Maybe they inflicted pain on that animal. And then that animal goes to a shelter. And in that shelter, the animal has a little bit of peace. And then a family comes in and adopts that pet. Well, what's so amazing, when the pet goes through that life review, that pet can see all of the past pain that they experienced within their life. And then they're also able to see, the love that you had shown them and given them. And more importantly, how you found out about that pet, how you came to choose that pet, the reason why you chose that pet. And your pet is also able to see during the life review the happiness that they brought you. Because pets show us the endless love that, we have born into this world every single day. They wait for us to come home. They cuddle up with us. They're happy to see us. They're always in a good mood for the most part, unless your dog, your cat gets really old and then can't see, can't hear, and, they start to change a little bit with illness. But for the most part, they're always happy. And what's so amazing is
during that life review, they can see how they affected your life. And when I look at pets and when I see the souls of pets, the pets find it so amazing to see how much joy they actually brought you. Because here in this world, to your pets, you bring them joy. You feed them, you walk them, you love them, you take care of them. But in their life review, they're able to see the ways that they also made a difference in your life. That seeing eye dog that, once trained for so long to take care of a man, who became their owner, was able to see how much they affected, that person's life here in this world. A therapy dog or a therapy animal is able to see how much peace and how much healing, they were able to bring somebody here in this world. Your pets will also be able to see the reason why they were brought into your family. Maybe your pet came into your life when you were having a really tough time. Maybe you were going through a divorce and somehow a little dog came into your life just at that moment and brought you just the right strength and happiness and love that you needed at that time. Maybe it was that, a pet was given to a child when a child was going through a rough point in their life. Maybe they were going through cancer treatments or an illness, or maybe they were being bullied in school. Well, your pets see that in their life review. And also, at the same time, when your pets go through a life review, they're able to see things that they didn't understand here in this world. Because there are things
that pets don't understand. For example, here in this world, pets don't understand money. They don't really understand sometimes why, we bring them to the vet. They don't understand why we shove pills down their throat. They don't understand, why we bring them to the groomers, why they can't eat certain food scraps and so on and so forth, why we're yanking a sock out of their mouth that they're about to swallow. They don't understand that. They do know, however, when you're helping them, that they absolutely do. They might not know why you're giving them a pill or why you're bringing them to the vet, but your pets are intuitive. They know when you're helping them, and they also know when you're hurting them. That's what spirit tells me. But during that life review, your pets are able to see so much more. For example, your pets are able to see how much money you spent on them. Okay. How, because some of us, we're pet owners and we have to take out of our own pockets. It's a struggle when our pet gets sick. I once, had a friend of mine who paid upwards of $12,000 for her dog to have emergency surgery. She wasn't even sure if the dog was going to make it. She had to take out a loan, half the loan from family members, half the loan from the bank. The dog had no idea here in this world, that the owner was doing this. But when the pet went to the other side, they saw that sacrifice. And that's what your pets see. So, I'm telling you this because so many times, people will come to me and they'll be in so much grief when a pet passes away. They'll be like, Matt, I feel terrible. I had to put my cat down. Matt, I had to put my dog down. And he looked at me like, what's happening? What's going on? And how many of you see those TikTok videos that come up? I'm one of the ones. I have to scroll past them because, being a medium, I don't know. I can talk to dead people, but when the pets start, when I start seeing, people passing, when I start to see people passing, it's just another day in the life for me. But when I see pets passing away, I'm like, oh, it's the pet videos that get me every single time. Oh, by the way, Alexa's here. My wife's here. Oh, look, she's in the comments. I love that. So it's the pet videos that get me every single time. Literally, I'm like, oh my God, not the pet, not the dog. I don't know. I just get so choked up, right? You can't, because they're so innocent. They're so helpless. But what I can let you know is that the spirit world tells me that when we put our pets down, they actually do know that that we're helping them, and they do trust us. And here's what I want to let you know. If you see me moving, by the way, it's because little Leo is here. Look at him. Look at him. Yes, I'm talking about you. And they know when we're talking about them as well, by the way. So here's one of the things that I want to let you guys know. All right, is that not only do your pets go through a life review and they know the way that you sacrificed for them and they know the way that you loved them and they know all the things that you did for them, but also on the other side, they also come through to watch over you as well. And your pets can actually send you signs. They can send you signs to show you that they're there in spirit. And I want to share with you a little bit about what happened when, Alexa and I, our first cat, Lord, had passed away. That was his name, Lord. And I'm going to tell you guys, that was the first time that I had really lost, a soul that was close to me. Lord was literally the first cat that Alexa and I had together. He was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful cat. And, he was just the most innocent, beautiful thing. He never scratched, never bit. He was just so loving and it's such a pure soul. And when we had to make the tough decision to put him down because he had gone through cancer, and Alexa and I did everything to keep this cat alive. I mean, we brought him in for chemo. We went and we tried holistic approaches with him. Alexa and I would actually do psychic healing on him, where we'd put our hands out and send him healing energy through our hands. We did so many things for him. And don't you know that Alexa and I took a flight to Florida. I was on press tour. And we let him stay with the vet. And unfortunately, his cancer had taken a turn for the worse while we were away. And just within 3 days, he started to have an issue where he couldn't breathe and he had to be put down. So the saddest thing is that Alexa and I weren't there, physically with him. We were all the way in Florida. He was in Rhode Island at the vets, and we had to make the tough decision to put him down over the phone. And it was so tough. We were going to get on the plane. We were going to come back and see him, but the tough part is that, he actually wouldn't have even made it. And the vet was like telling us, listen, there's no way. I'm like, can you hold him just for a day? We'll be down there. The vet was like, absolutely not. He's suffering. I really think that you need to make this decision. So we made the hard decision to put him down over the phone, which, as you know, is the toughest thing that, you can ever do. So we made that decision. And the vet said to us, once one of the nurses came in, they would go and they would put him down. So long story short, Alexa was saying to me, how will we know when he comes through from the other side? Like, how will we know what signs? Can Pet send us signs? I says, oh yeah. I says, he can send us signs and let us know that he's in heaven and that he's okay. And I remember Alexa saying, well, what kind of signs do cats send us? And I looked at her and I looked at her and I said, how the hell do I know? So she goes, well, you're the psychic medium. She goes, shouldn't you know the signs that pets send to us? And I go, listen, I never lost a pet in my life. I'm like, listen, I know that people can send us signs. I'm like, but what the hell do you look for with the cat? So she's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, how the hell do I know? Every soul communicates differently. So it's actually funny because we were so distraught that we're like, you know what? We're just going to take a drive. We're going to take a drive all around Florida. Just get out in the sun and just drive aimlessly, listen to music and calm down. So we were all teary-eyed and whatnot. And we got in the car and we started driving. And then literally we were driving. And after about a half hour, 45 minutes, we started to go down this neighborhood, and all of a sudden, I literally, guys, could smell in my nose fresh step litter, which is like I think it's fresh step or fresh scoop. I forget the exact marketing term name of it, but that's the litter that we use for the cats. It's like a scented litter that we use, and all of a sudden, I could smell it, and I'm like, Alexa, do you smell that? And she was like, no, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I smell litter. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, I literally smell the litter that we use for the cats, and I could smell it as if somebody was scooping cat litter, like clean cat litter, that was not dirty cat litter, clean cat litter. And then, literally within, just a minute as I'm telling her that, the phone rang and we got the call that they had put him down. And that was just one of the signs that, he has used to reach us. But I'm giving you this as an example because, like I said, sometimes we don't know what to look for, especially when it comes to cats or dogs or whatever. But they use signs. That will get your attention, let you know that it's them. Remember, signs always follow the personality or trait of the soul that's trying to come through. So, for example, there was a friend of mine who's still my friend to this day, who's a flight attendant. I just wrote about this in my blog. And, she had this little poodle Paris that she would take everywhere with her. When she was a flight attendant, this little toy poodle Paris would come all over the place with her. She would come to Paris with her. She would come to, domestic flights when she would go to LA, when she would go to Texas. And this little dog loved to travel. Well, anyway, after the dog had to be put down because of old age, a couple times she literally looked up into the sky and she saw cloud formations that looked like her little toy poodle Paris. It was in the shape of a poodle up in the sky. And, that was one of the signs that dog used to reach her. So know that the signs can come anytime, anywhere. And I recently just had a friend of ours who had lost their dog as well. Their dog was a little terrier, and they were so upset about this dog, about losing this dog. And they were walking downtown. It was a couple weeks after their dog had passed away, and they were walking downtown and they were getting coffee. And literally, this woman came out of the shop with the dog that was exactly like their dog that they had lost. And to the point where their dog, they used to put when people put like little barrettes and like little ponytails in the dog's head, especially when they're silky terriers, they used to do this weird thing where they would like have her cut a certain way, and they would put, oh, listen, we had an agreement. If you're good back there, you can stay. If not, you got to get the boot. So anyway, they used to put little what's it called? Hair clips and whatnot in the dog's hair and do like little updos with the dog. Well, don't you know that this woman came out of the store with the dog that looked just like theirs, and it literally had the bows and whatnot in the hair, and they went up to the dog and the owner, and they started petting this dog, and they asked the owner what the dog's name was, and it was the same name as their dog Keisha. So they were like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I can't believe this. I can't believe that this is happening. And then, they didn't even tell the woman like that was the name of their dog that passed away. They just thought, they were so freaked out. They just kept it quiet. And then they went in the car and they were like, oh my God, how did this happen? Why did this happen? Well, that was a sign that their dog was sending them. It's amazing because the other side sees opportunities. They see opportunities to send us signs, to, have an involvement within our lives. The other side has so many different ways that they can use to reach us, whether it be through nature, whether it be through other people, whether it be through signs like dragonflies, butterflies, any way they can to get our attention. And I'm telling you this because it's important to think outside the box. Sometimes when we think about signs, we think of just the generic signs, butterflies, dragonflies, repeating numbers. But I wanted to show you these 3 different signs because they're all so different and they're all so unique. And they're all, a way that you can know for sure that your loved ones are there. Now, these are signs that me and my friends and family have gotten from our pets that have passed, but yours might be similar, or yours might be completely different. But know that your pets never forget about you. And it's actually funny because they never forget about you, even though many of you might forget about your pets on the other side. How many times do I do a reading? If you guys saw it on my what's it called? On my page, there's many times when I'll do a reading and I'll say somebody, oh, your dog's here, whatever. And they'll be like, oh no, I didn't have a dog. And then all of a sudden I'll hear the dog's name, or they'll tell me the breed, and they'll be like, oh, that was the dog I had when I was a child. Oh my God, but that dog passed 30 years ago. And I'll be like, well, listen, your pets are still your pets. They're still family. And that's what's so amazing. And what I also want you guys to know about pet heaven, which I personally think is freaky, but on the other side, I guess it's not, and I just talked about this in another video, where the spirit world tells me that when we get to the other side, our pets can actually communicate with us. They can actually talk to us. Now, as weird as that is, and as strange as that is, that our pets can communicate with us, the spirit world doesn't think so. I think it's kind of weird. And I asked the souls on the other side, do you find it weird that pets can communicate on the other side? They say no, but I got to tell you something. I think it's really odd. But even though I say it's odd, I got to tell you something. Doing this as a medium, there have been many times when souls have come through to talk to me. And I just want to talk to you about that for a minute, about kind of like what that's like, because sometimes pet souls will come through and speak to me as a psychic medium, but I won't know that it's a pet coming through. For example, I was on the radio one day doing a Halloween special with Jenny McCarthy. And Jenny McCarthy had her 2 best friends that were there. And what was so crazy is that one of her friends, when I was looking at her, I kept hearing this soul telling me that they died during an operation and that they flatlined on the table, and that the friend didn't get to say goodbye. And I was like, what the hell is this? And I didn't see a soul. I just heard this soul showing. They started showing me these different visions of a heartbeat, and I saw like an EKG, and then I saw like surgical equipment and all these things. So I said to the woman, I says, you're going to think this is crazy, but I have a soul that's coming through to you. I said that just recently had passed away, and they're telling me that they died on the table during an operation. Well, anyways, this woman started freaking out. She was crying, and she goes, oh my God, Matt, that was my dog. My dog just recently died. And me, I was a little freaked out. I was like, what? That was your dog? And by the way, I have another video that I'm going to be putting up here on my YouTube page very shortly about a woman who came to me for an online group reading. There was a soul that came through. Now, I didn't see the soul because remember, souls speak in different ways. So in this particular instance, I went to connect with her, and there was a soul that kept showing me visions of a fire. I kept seeing a house fire, and I saw, a vision of what's it called? A staircase going downstairs. So I knew that somebody was trapped in a house fire and died. And I said to her, I go, I got to come to you. I'm like, I'm seeing visions of a fire, and the spirit world is showing me somebody was trapped in a house fire and died. And she goes, oh my God, that was my cat. My cat was trapped in the house fire and passed away. So, this is what I'm trying to show you is that, as a medium, I didn't know it was a cat. I didn't know it was a dog that was coming through. To me, it communicated the same way that a human soul would. Now, I didn't see them. The only difference is normally when I communicate with humans, I'll see a shadow or a silhouette or a form, and then they'll start talking to me using different ways. I'll start hearing and sensing and feeling things. They'll show me different visions. And then at the same time, they'll go and they'll let me feel what they went through here in this world. Well, the pet souls communicate in that same way. So I imagine that in heaven, that's the reason why, the spirits don't freak out or don't think it's unusual for souls to be able to communicate with one another, even though, a cat might be able to talk to a person and a person might be able to talk to a cat. But I got to tell you guys something. One of the things that is so amazing is that pets, will also protect you on the other side as well. I like to think of them as our little angels that watch over us in heaven. Because, there are times when I'll do a reading and I will see a dog or a cat in the house with the person that I'm reading for. And what's truly amazing is that I want you guys to know one thing. When you're nervous about putting down an animal, when you're stressed about an animal passing, because I know it's even happened to me where you get choked up and you're like, do they know? Do they understand? Well, what I want to let you guys know is that I asked the spirit world about this, and the spirit world has told me this. The spirit world has told me that all animals know that heaven is real. They know the afterlife is real, and that's why animals do not sense death. Well, they're not scared of death like we are as humans. As humans, we're petrified. We're nervous. We get nervous about, crossing the street without looking. We're nervous about, God forbid, something happening to us. But with animals, they don't have that sense. They get scared of other things. They get scared of, natural disasters and things like that. But they don't fear actually dying itself. And the reason why is this. What I'm told is that all of our pets have a sixth sense. Now, we see this sixth sense, in different parts of our lives. For example, if you have an animal, like, for example, at the animal shelter, I'll tell you, when I was on the board of directors, literally every time there was, an incoming storm that was about to happen, the shelter would go crazy. Cats, dogs, all the animals would go completely crazy. And they'd have to spend time calming the animals down, reassuring the animals. They would have I don't know what they're called. I think they're called thunder jackets that they'd put on some of the dogs that were more afraid and so on and so forth. And listen, there's science out there that says pets know when a storm is coming because they can feel the static electricity in their fur and they can feel the barometric pressure and this and that. I don't believe it. I believe, from what spirit tells me, that, the pets sense and feel things because they're psychic. They're very intuitive. Just like we can go into a room, and sense and feel, negative energy. Pets can feel that with the environment, that's around us. And more importantly, pets can see other things as well. Excuse me, you're moving my screen. Pets can see other things as well. For example, pets can also see, when they're here in this world, spirits that are around us. For example, if you've ever seen a cat or a dog, barking at no one that's there, maybe they're following something around the house that's not there, right? They might be seeing a spirit. And at the same time, we talk about how pets are psychic and they have that natural, intuitive, sixth sense about them. Pets can also sense when someone is bad. That's where their intuition comes from. That's where their psychic ability comes from. So what happens with pets is that pets can actually tell when a person is a good person and a bad person. That's the reason why. You ever see on TV? I love it. When you watch some of these murder mysteries, those are my favorite things, or some of the animal miracles. You might have a dog that never attacked anybody within its life, that literally people would come in and out of the house all the time. All right. The dog was what's it called? So normal and used to people coming in and out. The dog never attacked. The dog was so friendly. But then when that one intruder came in the house, that one person that came in that was evil, that was dark, and that soul that came in that wanted to go and rob a place, hold up a place, do whatever that bad person wanted to do, all of a sudden the dog attacked. How did the dog know to attack this person? How did the dog know, this person wasn't a person just checking in on the house, that this wasn't just a person coming in, to make sure the dog was okay, or to make sure that the person, wasn't a maintenance man checking the apartment. The dog knew that this person meant harm to the unit or the person who lived there. Why? Because pets have that sixth sense. They know things. They sense the soul that's within us. And that's why people and pets have such a strong connection, because pets have souls. So we sense and feel
the souls that are in that animal, and they sense and feel the soul that's within us. And that's why they know when our attention, when our intention is good, and when our intention is bad. And what's so amazing as well, what are you doing, sir? Come over here. Don't interrupt me while I'm doing the video. My cats have to be the center of attention if you haven't noticed. But anyway, one of the things that's also so incredible too is that your pets in spirit, want to protect you in that same way. Your pets in spirit, that's the reason why sometimes they'll growl at other people. They'll be very protective over you because of the fact that they're nervous about you and your soul, and they want to protect your soul that's within you. What I love about Pet Heaven in the Afterlife is everybody is all in one place. It's not Pet Heaven that's a separate place than our regular people heaven. It's all one place. And what happens when your pets go to the other side? Your pets are actually watched over by your loved ones that have passed away. So your loved ones in heaven will actually watch over your pets. So for example, let's say that you lost a grandmother, a grandfather, a mom, a dad, and you think of all those people in heaven. Well, know that those are all the people that your pets are with and that are watching over your pets. And it's actually funny. I love the readings. I love the readings when I'll hear from souls on the other side. Like, for example, a mother just recently came through in a reading, and she's like, Matt, tell my daughter I have every cat that she rescued. My daughter loved to rescue cats. She's like, I hated cats here in this world, but now I'm in heaven and I have all my daughter's cats here. And then during that reading, the daughter was like, oh my God, I can't believe that. Why are my cats with my mom? Why? Because you adopted them. They're part of the family. The same way as if you would to adopt, a child into your life. And that's just what's so amazing. So your pets know many things. And what I also love as well, and this is one of the things, it's kind of pet heaven, but it's kind of not. I love when pet owners pass away. Not that I love it, but I love when they pass away and they come back to visit their pets here in this world. How many readings have I done where the pets that were left behind here in this world will be visited by their old owners? For example, I had this woman who had lost her husband, and literally her husband would come back and check up on the dog. And I recently did, excuse me, sir, excuse me. You better be careful over there, all right? You're making a mess. Hold on a second. Hold on, commercial break. All right, listen. I'm saying nice things about you. I'm talking about how intuitive you are. So intuitively pretend, all right? Intuitively pretend that you're well-behaved. Get your spotted ass head off the back of the, oh dear God. This one here, this is Leo. He's always getting into trouble, by the way, if you haven't noticed. That's just who he is. All right. So anyway, I'd appreciate it if you stayed on the floor. So anyway, what was I saying? Now he got me all screwed up. Oh, so pets actually here in this world can see their owners that have passed on, is what I was trying to say. And more importantly, pet owners will come back to check up on their pets that they left here in this world. It is so common. And what I love about that is that, many times, not only do they check up on their pets, but it's reassurance to the pet. The pet knows that, one day they're going to be reunited with one another as well. And that's one of the telltale signs, is if your cat or your dog or your pet is going crazy, like this one is right now. Excuse me. You should see this right now. He thinks he's hiding right now, okay? On the side of the what's it called? In my curtain right now. But anyways, if that ever happens where you see a cat meowing or going crazy, kind of like this one is right here, which he could be seeing someone in spirit. That could very well be, because, this is where I do all my readings in here. That's a telltale sign that a spirit is actually with you. And what I want you to know about the pet afterlife as well is that your pets actually take on divine tasks on the other side, just like us humans do. It's truly amazing about how our souls are actually connected. And more importantly, that your pets, that's the reason why they're able to feel and sense your emotions. Do you notice the reason why we have therapy animals and support animals? Because they're able to sense the emotions that you're feeling on the inside. Why? Because of that soul connection. That soul connection keeps us connected to all living things. It's deep within us, and it's a connection that's unbreakable. Even death cannot break it. So that being said, what I want you guys to know is that,
if you've lost a pet, if you've been going through that pain, if you've been going through that grief, if you've been going through that trauma, know that your pets know what you did for them. And more importantly, one of the things that I want to let you guys know as well is that your pets in spirit actually tell me that they send other pets into your life as well. So, have you ever noticed that somebody will lose a pet? They'll be like, I'm not going to have another dog. I'm not going to have another cat. I'm completely done. I've had it. And then next thing you know, some way, somehow, a pet finds its way into their life where, they'll be, driving the car and all of a sudden a stray animal will appear and the animal will have no owner and they take it in. And then after trying to find the owner, that pet becomes their pet. How many times is it that, somebody will say, I'm not having pets. And then next thing you know, somebody will call them up and be like, listen, I need you to take this dog just for the night, this dog is looking for a foster. We're looking for a foster home, but we just need you in the meantime. You say yes, and then that dog becomes your dog. It happens all the time. Those animals just don't fall into your lap. Your pets in heaven want to see you give that same love that you gave them to another pet that may have been abandoned, hurt, neglected here in this world. And that is what's truly amazing. So what I want you to know is that your pets never leave you, just like your loved ones in spirit. They're always there, they're always with you, and they are in the afterlife with everyone that you've loved. And if you guys are all here and you've enjoyed this video, and by the way, Lady Jane just said to me, she goes, Matt, cats love me, but I'm allergic. That's the reason why I have Bengals. So I gotta tell you guys, I have had cats my whole entire life, all right? We always used to pick up stray animals and stray cats. Like my grandmother was known for that. She had like 13 cats. We loved animals in our family. And then when I got older, I don't know what the hell happened, but I started the minute that I turned like 16, 17, I started to develop this allergy towards cats. And it's so bad that I actually cannot have a cat unless it's a Bengal cat. So for years, I didn't have a pet. And then somebody told me, Matt, have you ever heard about Bengals? 80% of people are not allergic to them. So I'm like, is that true? They were like, yeah. So long story short, I researched it. I went and I went to see a Bengal cat. I wasn't allergic. And thank God, I'm able to have cats again. So, these cats are really I brought so much happiness into my life because without the Bengal breed, I wouldn't have been able to be a cat owner again. And that broke my heart. So, I wanted to let you guys know that as well, because there's so many people write to me. They say, Matt, adopt, don't shop. And it's like, I can't, this is the only cat breed I can have. Well, unless I got a hairless cat. I think that's the only other one. It's a hairless cat. But anyways, that's the reason why I have these here now. So before you judge me, before you say I bought, that's the reason why. But I do donate my time to the animal shelter as well. And one of the things that I want to let you guys know is that if you enjoyed this video, don't forget, this is just one of the many secrets that I have about heaven and the afterlife. It's the reason why I wrote this book called We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife. I wanted to write this book for one reason. One, to show you that your soul truly lives on. And two, to show you what heaven is really like. I know there's a lot of mediums out there, but a lot of mediums won't talk about the real questions. For example, what happens when you passive suicide? What happens to our pets in pet heaven? What is pet heaven like? What age are you in heaven? What happens if you've been married multiple times? Who are you in heaven with? Who's your soulmate? What about psychic protection? What about evil spirits? What about dark spirits? I feel like a lot of mediums will tiptoe around the question. Not me. I says, you know what? I'm going to take everything that I've learned from the spirit world, because everything that I've learned that I share with you guys about, I never read about this stuff. I never researched it. All the information that I share with you comes directly from the readings that I do and the spirits that I've communicated with. That's why a lot of the information I tell you guys, no one else talks about, because it's information that the spirit world has shared with me during the many readings that I've had with them. So I wrote this book called We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife. And I've taken all your questions, because you guys write me questions every day, asking me the real push button questions about heaven and the afterlife, about reincarnation, about, angels, about spirit guides, about what happens when someone passes tragically. And I wrote this book along with spirit. I've asked the spirit world these questions, and I wrote this book called We Never Die, Secrets of the Afterlife, because this is truly what happens. We never do die. Our soul lives on, even the souls of our pets. So this is available right now on Amazon. You got to pre-order it right now. And by the way, I want to thank you guys, because I just found out from Simon & Schuster that this is the #1 pre-ordered book in all of Gallery Books. So I want to thank you guys for making it #1. It's being released this summer in August, okay? But you got to get your pre-orders in now. If you pre-order on Amazon, all right, you can either pre-order for the audio or the hardcover. And I want you guys to know you don't get charged until it ships, which is my favorite. Because what I'm hoping, because if you guys are like me, I'm hoping that you guys are going to forget about this. I hope you pre-order right now on Amazon because they don't charge you till it ships. I hope you forget about it. And I hope this August you're by the pool or, you're planning a trip and you're like, what am I going to read on the plane? What the hell am I going to do for 4 hours during the car trip? Oh my God, I got the week off. Now what? What am I going to bring to the beach to read? Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you're going to get an email from Amazon and it's going to say, good news, your Matt Fraser book arrives tomorrow. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I completely forgot about it. Oh my God, this is so exciting. So that being said, I hope that you'll go and pre-order your copy. And thank you guys for all of you who already did. And thank you for all the comments that you guys leave me. I see all your comments here. I see Robbie just left me a comment and said that they pre-ordered. I see that Marilyn is saying, is it available in Kindle version? Yes, you can pre-order the Kindle version. And I know that, let's see. Oh my God, I see all of you guys. I see DNA is here. I see Jimmy Joe Jeter is here. Love Girl Amy is here. Sandra, NZ Nature Girl, ordered a copy. Thank you, thank you. I see Janelle sent a heart, and JK and JH sent me a heart and a ghost. Thank you. Ray D ordered as well. Ian also pre-ordered. Thank you, thank you. And what I also want you guys to know is a lot of you guys have been asking me, Matt, how do I get a reading with you? That's the #1 question you guys have been asking me. How do I get a reading? Well, there's only 2 ways to get a reading because I'm booked out for 3.5 years. I can't take any new private readings. I'm completely full. But there's 2 ways that you can experience a reading with me. One, you can come and see me live in person. This week, I'm off to Las Vegas, where I'm going to be giving live readings at the Venetian in Las Vegas. And then I'm coming to Lynn, Massachusetts on March 3rd. There's only a few seats left. So if you're in the New England area, come join me March 3rd in Lynn, Massachusetts. Tickets are up on sale on my website, meetmattfraser.com. And this summer, I'm also coming to Detroit, Michigan. Now, I also want to let you know, if you're not in those states, keep checking my website because I'm adding live events all the time. And you also can join me for a live online reading. If you've noticed my YouTube page, all of the videos that you've been seeing me post on my YouTube page happen during my online group reading events. During these events, you guys see me live like you're seeing me right now, but the only difference is your cameras turn on. And what does that mean? It means that during these online group readings, I get to see all of you. And not only are you guys there, but your loved ones in spirit are there as well. And they allow me to go and deliver messages to you. So that being said, let me share with you this link. Hold on. So the link is meetmattfraser.com. And if you want to attend an online group reading with me, it's only $19. All right. So I'm going to put this up in the chat. If you guys can see the chat window. Do you see that where it says click here? I just put that in. Hold on. Pin message. Let me see if it goes up. So if you see in the chat, I just said click. It says click here, meetmattfraser.com. That's where you want to go. That's where you can attend an online group reading with me. You can explore my website, see some of my videos, and also you can take part in a reading, whether it be in person at a live event or what did I say? Online. Now I want to let you guys know. I just checked the website. April 19th is sold out. I only have one online reading left. So there's one online reading left for April 21st. So if you want to come and join me online, a lot of you guys I see in the comments are asking me when it is. April 21st is the next online group reading. Other than that, everything is sold out. So April 21st, make sure that you head on over there and get your seats because I can only allow so many people per online event. So I hope that you guys will come and join me. And more importantly, I want to thank you for subscribing to my YouTube page. I want to thank you for being here with me, for all of the love that you send, for the comments, for the messages, and more importantly, for the pre-orders. You know, when you pre-order a book like from an author like myself, it just allows me to keep writing more and more and more. It allows me to come on and to share these videos with you, to allow me to keep sharing this inspiration with the world, because as a medium, I've made it my mission to do 2 things. 1, listen to spirit, and 2, deliver their messages, whether it be in person to you or whether it be by talking to them and writing books like this one, like We Never Die. I'm so excited for you to get your hands on this because literally these are all the teachings that I've learned from all of these years of talking to the spirit world. And I'm hoping that these many conversations that I share with you will help you to realize that, listen, your loved ones, they're not dead. They're just different. They're always with you. They're always by your side, and they never, ever leave you. So that being said, one last time, if you want to join me in person, I'm going to be in Las Vegas this week. There are a few spots left to February 11th. The February 12th event in Las Vegas is sold out. But then I'm coming to Lynn, Massachusetts, and then I'm coming to Detroit, Michigan. Those are the events that still have tickets left, or you can join me online. So I love you all so much. Don't forget to subscribe if you're here and new on the channel. And more importantly, take a moment to binge watch some of the readings. As you start to watch some of the readings that I've done, I want you to know that your loved ones are also there in spirit as well. And it's amazing how one message can help so many to heal. Because the more that we learn about the spirit world, the more that we learn that our loved ones are truly only just a thought away. So I love you all. I'll see you soon. And remember, stay blessed and inspired. I'll see you soon.